Good morning. Today we are going to study fluid mechanics. I have uploaded around 150 plus videos which are related with your structural engineering, that is from some, then structural analysis 1, 2, structural design 1, 2, that is steel structures, reinforced concrete structures, then gate related questions, MPSC related questions, UPSC related questions. I have uploaded on that. Now I have started with now fluid mechanics, and maybe in coming days I will try to upload most of the videos related with this fluid mechanics, that is theory as well as problems. Now mechanics, if we will see, then it is the study the effect of forces on stationary and moving bodies, fluids, gases. So when we will say moving bodies, it comes under your stationary and moving bodies. It comes under your engineering mechanics. And when we will talk about fluids, then we will say fluid mechanics. Now, what is fluid? So we have this as a material which deforms continuously due to shear stress acting on it. Now, its deformation, and that is proportional to shear strain rate. Now, we have to keep in mind, if you remember, in case of strength of materials, we have that is shear strain, but here if we will see, then we have this as shear strain rate, and it does not obey Hooke's law. Then we have fluid mechanics. So it is study the behavior or effect on fluids at rest as well as in motion. Also, it includes interaction of fluids with other solid particles, other solid bodies, or other fluids or boundaries in which it is flowing. Then we have this, if fluid compresses or density changes, then we have compressible fluid, and does not changes, we have incompressible. In detail, we will see it later. Now, density or mass density. Now, this is defined as a ratio of mass to volume and generally denoted by rho. So we can have mass per unit volume. So if we will see this, then we have mass upon volume. This is derived formula, and for this derived formula, we have derived units. Means we have units on right hand side and left hand side are same. So if we will talk about mass, then we have kg, and volume we have meter cube. Then we have one dimension analysis, and where we require dimension. What is dimension? So we have basic units of physical quantities, and if we express these units of physical quantities in fundamental units, which we have mass, length, and time, then that is known as dimension. So now you can see kg, we have m, which is in kg, L we have in meter, and T we have in seconds. And then from this we can write kg, we have m to the power 1, and m cube, but is in denominator. So we have L to the minus 3, and T we do not have anywhere. So we have T to the power 0. So we have dimension of mass densities m1 L to the power minus 3, T to the power 0. Then we have value of mass density of water at 4 degree. So at this temperature, my water molecules are the most dense, and therefore I have maximum value of mass density for water is at 4 degrees centigrade, which is 1000 kg per meter cube. So this is in case of MKS system, and this we have in case of CGS, which is gram per centimeter cube. We have just converted, this is 1000 kg to gram, and meter cube to centimeter cube, 10 raised to 6 cancels, we will get 1 gram per centimeter cube. Now if you will see the values of this, and that values of mass density of water at different temperature, then you will see for 4 degrees centigrade this value is maximum, which is 1000 kg per meter cube or 1 gram per centimeter cube. And for other temperature you can see it is decreases towards 0 degrees centigrade, and it is also decreases after 4 degrees centigrade. Then we have specific weight or weight density. Then we have similar quantity but relate with your weight. So we have weight per unit volume, which is Newton per meter cube. And unit we have Newton per meter cube. Now, if you are going to write down dimension for this, then you will get dimension for this. So Newton per meter cube. Now we know we have F is equal to MA. F we have newtons, M we have kg, and A we have meter per second square. So if we will put Newton as kg meter per second square, then we have kg meter per second square into 1 by meter cube. And if we will rewrite it, then you will get kg per meter square second square. And then I have dimension as kg, we have numerator 1 and other 2 are in denominator, and therefore minus 2 minus 2. This is my dimension for your mass density. Now if we will go ahead, value for water, then we have this as 9810 Newton per meter cube at 4 degrees centigrade. So just we have, you can see here, we have just unit weight that is equal to rho into g, that is mass density into g, and generally value of g is 9.8 when it varies, but we are going to consider it as constant. Then specific volume, so these mass density, specific weight, these are generally considered for liquid, and for gases we are using this term specific volume, which is 1 by rho, that is volume per unit mass. And then if we will write dimension for it, then your dimension for this, you are going to get it as we have cube. So we have m to the power minus 1 L cube and t to the power 0. Then we will switch over to specific gravity, that already we know it is ratio of weight density of fluid to the weight density of standard fluid. Generally, in case of liquid, we are taking standard fluid as water and considering density that is at 4 degrees centigrade, 1000 as mass density, 9810 as specific weight. And for gases, generally hydrogen is considered over there. So now here, as our quantities are same, that is in numerator and denominator. So my unit is no unit we have for specific gravity. Then dynamic viscosity, it is defined as the property of fluid which offer resistance to the movement of one layer to the adjacent layer of the fluid. Now we will see derivation for this unit also. We will see over there how we will derive it, that is Newton second per meter square. And if we will say in CGS, it is poise, that is 9 second per centimeter square. And 1 Newton we know we have 10 raised to 5 dynes. So now, according to Newton's law of viscosity, shear stress is directly proportional to shear strain rate. So this you have to always keep in mind. This is not a shear strain. This is a shear strain rate. So we have tau proportional to du upon dy. And then if we will see derivation of this, we are going to consider two plates, upper plate moving with velocity v and bottom we have that is at rest. And let we have deformation of this plate after time delta t, and that is equal to a a goes to a dash, c goes to c dash, and delta theta will be the deformation. Now when we will say tau directly proportional to du upon dy, then constant of proportionality is known as dynamic viscosity. So now we will go for this derivation. So this already we have seen. And then if I will write delta theta, then I have this delta theta that is equal to delta theta equal to AA dash divided by AB. We have this AB, that is length between the two plates, as L, and this distance we can find, that is velocity into time. So V into delta T. So V into delta T upon L, that will be delta theta. So if we rearrange the terms, then we are going to get delta theta upon delta T is equal to V by L. Now if we will consider velocity at a distance y, and which is u, then we can write it as u by y is equal to v by l. Or if we will consider a small distance dy with velocity du, then we will get in this fashion. Now you can see, for this equation, that is for above equation and for this both equations, so we have this one equation, this is second, and for these two equations we have right hand side same, so automatically my left hand side should be same, and we are going to get it as du upon dy, and that is equal to delta theta upon delta t is equal to v by l. So now if we will rearrange this, then we have tau directly proportional to delta theta upon delta t, and then we are going to get this equation, which is tau, that is equal to mu du upon dy, which is equation for dynamic viscosity. Now, if we will go to the unit of this dynamic viscosity, then we are going to get, that is mu is equal to tau into dy upon du. Now we have unit for tau, Newton per meter square. Unit for dy is meter, and du we have meter per second. Now this meter gets cancelled. I will get unit as Newton second per meter square. So these are derived units, so we can derive it from formula. Now if we will see the value of this dynamic viscosity for water, it is 0.001 kg meter per second at 20 degrees centigrade. Now how we will get it as kg per meter second? So now that we can convert it, if we will see kg Newton, we can write it as, so here I can say we have kg meter per second square into second per meter square. So 1 second gets cancelled, 1 meter gets cancelled, and we will get it as kg per meter second. So kg per meter second. Then what will be dimension of dynamic viscosity? Dimension I will get it as kg. We have m to the power 1 m per meter second. Both are in denominator. So l to the power minus 1 t to the power minus 1. Now, if we will go to air, then we have, that is around 50 to 55 times value, that is of water, that is point, sorry, about 100 times we can say. So we have, that is 0.00018 kg per meter second. And if we will go to the oil, then we have zero point 0.1 kg per meter second. So likewise, we have these values, that is of dynamic viscosity for different for water, for your oil, and for your air. So now kinematic viscosity, and this is defined as ratio of dynamic viscosity and density of fluid. And this is generally we have meter square per second, which is SI unit measured in, and this or CGS we have 1 centimeter square per second. And then you can see formula, if you will see, then we have mu is equal to mu by rho. Now if we have to convert this in terms of poise, so just we have seen, so we have 1 Newton second per meter square. If we will convert it into dynes, then we have 10 raised to 5 dynes divided by meter square into centimeter square, 10 raised to 4 centimeter square. And second we have as it is, and this term, this is known as poise, and therefore we have 10 poise. So 1 Newton second per meter square, we have 10 poise. Now here also, if we will talk about SI unit and CGS unit, then you have meter square per second, and then that is we can convert 10 to the power centimeter square per second, and then we have this as 10 to the power 4 strokes. So this conversion plays very important role, and you have to see it very carefully. Now this classification of fluids is according to Newton's law, and the liquids which follow this law known as Newtonian fluids. So if we have Newtonian fluid, then we have stress directly proportional to rate of deformation, that is shear strain rate, and therefore we are going to get this as linear line, and the slope of this gives us dynamic viscosity. Then ideal fluid, so in that case your viscosity is zero, so we are going to get that shear stress, we are going to get it as zero, and therefore we have rate of deformation in this fashion. If we will go to ideal solids, then you have definite shape and definite volume, and we are going to get rate of deformation zero, because we have molecules as dense, or molecular attraction is very large in that case. So if we will go then dilatant, so your rate of deformation, that first uh, we have linear, and then we are going to get that as curve. Similarly, if we will go to pseudoplastic in the same fashion, but your rate that is greater than your Newtonian fluid in case of pseudoplastic. Then for Bingham plastic, we have some constant shear stress, we do not have any deformation, and after that we are going to get this as linear deformation. Now variation, so this is most important one. So we have in liquids the cohesive force predominant, and the molecular momentum. So we are going to get two terms actually. One, we have cohesiveness, and second we have that is molecular momentum. And if we will say this cohesive force, so in case of liquid we have this cohesive force larger, and therefore if temperature increases, then the distance or the uh, uh, molecules in 1 meter cube that are going to be reduced, and that cohesive force is reduced, molecular attraction between the molecules reduces, and therefore in that case our viscosity that is going to be decreases. So due to increase in temperature, the cohesive force decreases, and due to which viscosity decreases. But in case of gases, if you will see, your cohesive force is less, or we can say molecular momentum predominance. So if you increase the temperature, then your molecular momentum transfer increases, and which will increase your viscosity of the gas. So if we will see, we have this formula that is given, and from this we can see if temperature increases, then our viscosity that is going to be decreases. So we have, these are these some terms we have seen related with your fluid properties. Then we have some terms, that terms we will see in our next lecture. Thank you.